Hi, good evening. This is Dr. Ari Yares, licensed psychologist and parenting coach. Welcome to a Facebook Live event at the Innovative Dad. Innovative parenting is all about learning from our parenting experiences and continuing to grow from our parenting fails and to build on our parenting victories. And certainly, as we move into the 2020 holiday season, there have been a number of fails and victories to reflect on in this crazy, crazy year that we're having. And while 2020 may be getting closer and closer to its end, we still have the holidays in front of us and the challenges that running into our fall and winter holidays will have for us in terms of what it's going to feel like and what it's going to look like this year. Um, in a year where everything else has already looked so completely different. And I think, one of the things I want to talk about tonight are 8 pieces of advice to maybe help us navigate the holidays just a little bit better, a little bit stronger, in a way that we can feel that as parents, we're creating an authentic holiday experience, whatever those holidays may be for your family, in a way that will allow us to grow stronger, to create powerful memories, and to acknowledge and recognize that this year is just going to be different. So let's just dive into these 8 thoughts, these 8 ideas on terms of what to do this year with the holidays in terms of trying to make it, again, just a little bit better. And I think the starting point for us is really just to simply acknowledge any of the negative feelings that we may be having. For many of us, we have treasured holiday customs that cannot happen in a COVID-19 world, whether it is getting together with relatives or friends for holiday meals or other traditions, or ice skating, or visiting Christmas light displays, or any of the number of things that make our holiday experiences so rich for us every year, and recognize that just isn't going to happen, and that to own and to acknowledge those feelings, and to have conversations with our kids as well, that those things aren't going to be happening, and to admit to ourselves, to our kids, that that does suck, and that's okay. Rather than leaving that internally and letting it fester. It's much more important for it to be out and expressed and shared, and so that your kids know as well that you're facing some disappointment. Number 2, a little planning ahead. It doesn't hurt, to look ahead at your calendar and to think about, what can I be doing? Doing some planning, doing some ideas to see what could happen. What are the possibilities? How, could we organize a meal exchange with neighbors so that maybe we're not having the family potluck that we'd be having, but our neighbors up and down the street are sharing food with us, our friends in the community, and thinking about, okay, well, when can we all gather on Zoom or whatever your video conferencing tool of choice is, to chat as a family, or is there a Kahoot that we could play together, or looking into other ways of interacting online, and just doing that little bit of planning will be really helpful. Number 3, do keep it simple. Don't make yourself nuts. There's a lot of stress that naturally comes with our holidays, and given the restrictions that we're working under and trying to figure out, how do I make this COVID friendly and that COVID friendly, and can we do that? Are we comfortable with this? Will my physician be okay with this? And what's the advice that we've gotten from the kids' school about how we should handle things in terms of social distancing and all of those things? It's a lot to factor in. So, keeping it simple, even as you're planning ahead, just allows you the space to not overwhelm yourself. And remember, self-care is incredibly important as we move into the holiday season, because we do often, as parents, take on so much, and that can make things a lot harder for us. All right, number 4, even though I've said plan ahead and keep it simple, you need to embrace the spontaneity. You never know what crazy idea that you're going to have or your kids are going to have, and just, lean into it. Try it. Allow these things to happen. Uh, and you never know. I mean, it could be the beginning of a brand new family tradition that stays with you. And, very many of our traditions have happened because of something spontaneous occurring at a family meal or a get together. Uh, and that's wonderful. And allow that to happen. Okay. Number 5, perhaps maybe one of the more important on this list, is that different is okay. Let me give you an example. In our family this year, we've been thinking about our Thanksgiving dinner. It's not happening with our relatives. We're not traveling. All the things that might have been happening this year. So we sat with our kids and we started talking about, okay, well, what would make it, Thanksgiving enjoyable and different? And so we are taking a pass on the traditional turkey dinner. And we're going to be making throughout the day the kids' favorite appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and yummy, simple desserts and complicated desserts. And we're just going to make a mess in the kitchen, doing different things and just having a different kind of meal, or maybe meals, depending upon how much we end up cooking and putting together. And that's going to be okay. It's not going to look like a Thanksgiving dinner has in years past. And we're fine with that. And see what that different is for you, and just acknowledge that that different is okay. And so number 6, holidays are about connecting, and at its core, all of our various winter celebrations, regardless of what they are, what religion or what faith or spiritual tradition they're coming from, or secular pathway, is that community and family connections are vital during them. So that reaching out to others is really good for everyone. So making part of your Thanksgiving or your Hanukkah or your Christmas plans of having time and space to connect with others, both within your house and outside, through whatever modality that your family is comfortable with. Humans, at our very nature, we are a community-driven, communal species, and we need those social connections. And I think one of the things that has been hardest for so many of us during these stay-at-home orders and this extended remote learning and working from home period has been the lack of those social connections. So if we can add just a little bit of extra intentionality as we move into the holiday season of connecting with others, it'll be so much more powerful for us. And it'll be good for them, and it'll be good for you as well, and good for your kids. 7, you need to recognize that everyone is going to have expectations that aren't met during the holidays in terms of things that we just thought that were going to happen. And this, in part connects to what I started talking about, is just acknowledging our negative feelings. But that's on the front end. This is more on the back end when we're realizing, oh, we couldn't do X, and we couldn't do Y, and we couldn't do Z. And just, recognizing that there are going to be moments as we move through the holidays where that is going to hit us, that expectation of whatever it was, seeing grandma so-and-so, getting together with these cousins, engaging in that family tradition is going to happen, and that there are going to be moments of sadness and disappointment that come from that. And again, acknowledging that is really, really important. And I think, number 8, the last tip that I have on here is just, you need to aim, good enough is fine. Your holiday celebration doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to look like whatever you just pinned on Pinterest the other day. And we've all done this. We have looked at, these wonderful, crazy ideas that people are Instagramming or Pinterest, and we're going to try, but take a little pressure off yourself. Don't push that hard. good enough is okay. And really, the bottom line of the holidays is to try and enjoy them. And if you're pushing, and I think this might be advice for every year, not just the holiday season of 2020, is that, good enough is okay. It doesn't need to be crazy perfect. You've got enough stress coming in on you, and if you acknowledge that and allow that, you'll actually enjoy the holidays more this year. Be surprised. Try it. So those are just 8 pieces of advice for the 2020 holidays that I want to share with everyone. What I'm going to throw in right now at the end are just 7 things you could say to your kids during this holiday season. There have been a bunch of great memes floating around on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and other places of prepping and thinking about how are we going to talk to our kids. And these are a few that I found that I really liked as I was sort of scrolling my feed the other day. So 7 things you could say to your kids. 1, I'm grateful for you. And this is a season of gratitude right now. Express it. Okay. 2, I am thankful for our family. 3, thank you for being you. 4, I love being your parent. How often do we ever actually say that to our kids? It would be incredibly powerful for them to hear that. And 2020 was a tough year. You're so strong. Just give them that affirmation. Saying it will make you feel better. Ask your kids. Number 6, what are your hopes for 2021? What do you want to see happening? And then lastly, I'm here for you. I'm available to be present for you. And I think that that's really important as we move from Zoom call to Zoom call during our work day, and we're running to get kids into this class and that class, or running them to school if they're in a hybrid learning situation, or just all the different craziness that goes together in our lives right now. So with that, some things to say to your kids this year as we move into the holiday season, and of course 8 pieces of advice for the 2020 holidays. I want to thank you for joining me here at The Innovative Dad. I'm Dr. Ari Yares. As always, you can find more parenting strategies and ideas here on my Facebook page or on my website, www.ariyares.com. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter, and please join my Facebook group, Innovative Parenting and Hacks for Moms and Dads, where you can connect with other parents seeking to grow as parents one day at a time. Thank you.